guys, welcome to 3 Pages In.
My name's Eden.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Macy.
And we missed you guys. We had a little bit of a break, but we're back because our lovely Eden was under anesthesia.
She was on fentanyl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was. I had knee surgery.
She was doing hard
She
drugs.
relapsed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but
So if you're watching, that's why
what I was about to say.
Her and Oliver were hanging out.
Oh,
sorry.
Geez. Too far.
So yes, that's why we're in a little bit of a different position.
Yep.
Same couch if you recognize it, but different angle.
Yeah.
But we're all doing good.
Yes.
Right, Eden?
Yes. Healing.
Yay. But we're back to talk about our April book club book. It's currently May. That's why I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Our April book, which was The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. And I'm pretty sure we all gave it the same rating.
Oh, yeah.
Did we not?
Easily.
Did you guys all give 5 stars?
Or
5
6
stars.
if possible.
Yeah.
I was like,
Woo! 10s across the board.
Literally.
I feel
Perfect.
like I can speak for all of us when I say we loved it.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
loved it so much. So.
A freaking man. It was so freaking good. And it just made me really want Jessa to finish her series for Magnolia Parks because I'm just craving her writing. So I bought Never, that she also has written, and I'm going to read that.
Yay.
So I'm excited.
that's awesome.
But Conditions of Will is like by far my new favorite book. Not as an
Such a good
exaggeration.
standalone.
Like no, such a good standalone.
Amazing.
Holy cow. Like, oh my gosh.
I cried.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed. I
Yep.
cried.
Yep.
I smiled. I was sad.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
All the emotions, actually.
Yeah.
It was written so well. But anything before we jump into it?
The only thing that I have to add, I've been reading listening to lots of books since I've been in recovery. And
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say rehab.
I know.
No, not that.
No, and I discovered this new Regency romance author
Oh.
who like has like no ratings, and well, okay, I can't take credit. Someone in our book club like suggested one of her books, and so I put a hold on Libby, and there's no wait for any of her books, and they're all so good. I started it like 2 days ago, and I'm already almost done with the second one.
Yay!
It's amazing.
What's it called and who is it?
So her name is Joanna Barker, and the two that I have, the like second one that I'm about to finish is So True a Love and A Heart Worth Stealing, I believe.
Okay.
Anyways, they're clean, they're fun, they're really engaging. Like the guys and girls, and like both of them are really, really fun. And it's
Yay.
like one of the books, they're like siblings, a brother and sister. So one of the books is about
Oh.
one, and the
At
other
first I
one
was
is
like,
about another.
sibling.
Oh,
a
no,
mini
no, sorry.
Bridgerton moment, a little sibling.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that there were two, so I accidentally read the second one first. Anyways, but it doesn't really matter because they're just like
Yeah.
a little bit.
I mean,
of overlap,
shocker. They're
but-
going to end up with the...
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How do you
No,
spell
so
Joanna
good.
Barker? Oh, I found it.
Yep.
A Heart Worth Stealing.
Yeah,
is that
that's
the
one
first or the second?
That's the first one. So I would start with that one and then read So True Love.
Miss
both so
Genevieve
good.
Wild. What a cute name.
Yes,
That
they
is
call-
fun.
Those are Jenny.
I need to get... I haven't read like Regencies in a little bit, and I feel like now's a great time of year also to get into
no,
this.
I am
that's the
hooked.
point.
Yeah.
My mom and I during when she was helping me after my surgery, we watched Sense and Sensibility, Austin Land. There's another one that we watched. Anyways, we were
You're watching Emma?
Oh, we watched Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we watched all the Jane Austen stuff. So I'm just kind of in that mood. So I'm so happy that I discovered this author. I didn't discover her. Someone told me about her, but she's amazing. So everyone go read her stuff.
That's
Yay.
so fun.
That's a
Yeah.
good shout out. My only update is really it's something I cried about. Do you guys remember a couple episodes I was talking about my like coworker dad who like
Oh yeah.
would he would come into work and be like, I read this book and I read
Oh,
this
yeah,
book.
yeah.
Freaking quit this
Aw,
week. And I was so
no.
sad.
That's
We
actually
all
so sad.
cried. He was like the best freaking guy. Anyways, so no, I don't have a little like book work buddy anymore at work, and I'm sad. But
Bad.
he still texts me, and he just finished Dark Matter,
Aw,
which I
nice.
recommended, even though I haven't read it. I'm like, I still want to read it.
Did you like
He loved it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is a good
funny.
book.
he still has like Project Hail Mary on hold. Like he's reading everything I'm throwing at him. So maybe I'll throw him like a curveball one of these days. Go read
Fun.
Magnolia Parks or something. He'd be like, what the heck? But anyways,
That's great.
That's so fun.
But sad.
love how reading connects people.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those are good updates. What about you, Chloe? Anything?
Honestly, I can't remember the last thing I updated on. I've read a lot.
Yeah, you've read a lot.
The ones that stand out to me, two audiobook listens that I've really enjoyed. One of them, The Favorites. I don't think I've talked about this.
No, you haven't yet.
The Favorites by Lane Fargo. It's the book about the two figure skaters, I guess ice dancers. And it's like told kind of in past, present timeline, a little bit interview format. The audiobook is great. That's what I recommend. The voice people did super well. It's also full cast, super engaging. Loved listening to it. Another listen that I just finished 2 days ago. Yesterday. Okay, bear with me here. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl. This was
Not the
generous. I let my husband pick our audiobook that we listened to. I'm here to say though that I was very entertained and I actually really enjoy it, and like I want to keep reading the series. Dungeon Crawler Carl. So he showed me the cover.
I know.
Beware of the cover if you look it up. Please go find the yellow and pink one that you will like better. There's some like weird like fantasy like
me and Eden immediately looking it up.
It follows Carl, and he's kind of like thrust upon like this dungeon. Don't show that one.
My gosh.
He's kind of just enters into this like dungeon because the world is kind of being taken over by this corporation who is mining earth for all its materials, and he enters this dungeon where it's kind of like a TV show. Do not look at the freaking goblins. He enters this like basically it's televised for all the people across the universe to watch and to like cheer him on, and like they can like give him like boxes to help him like treasure, like yes, but it's pretty like video game-esque. Like he has an inventory. He collects like different items that have magical powers or spells or healing stuff. He can level up himself, and his sidekick is his ex-girlfriend's cat that he was with at the time when like the apocalypse like was like triggered or whatever. Her name is Princess Donut.
You're lying.
You guys, she is probably my favorite part of the book. I'm obsessed with her. Are you
trolling us right now?
I'm not lying. She's so slay. I literally love her.
Like not Princess Donut.
Princess Donut. I know probably no one's going to read it based off of what I just said, but like actually is very entertained. The audiobook is phenomenal. The voice actor does a really good job. He's so entertaining.
Wow.
And yeah. Anyways, so if you're a boy and you listen to this podcast at all, we have your back. Okay, that's what you should listen to.
Anytime any guys like, should I listen to your podcast? We only send them this episode. Just listen to the first 5
and only
minutes.
If they're into video games.
Yeah,
like I mean, it's
what guy isn't?
It's fun though because like the like humor, it's very like humorous and like out of pocket, like what the frick,
like innuendo, like or like what?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, that sounds fun.
Like there's a AI like not character, but like that will explain things about the game and like explain different things that like the items he finds can do, and like just tells him how things work, whatever, and like he unlocks new achievements and rewards that thing, whatever. And that funny. Voice says the most random crap, like it's so funny. Like anyways.
Okay, wait, that's a fun recommendation.
It's a good listen. The audiobook was so good. So anyways, enough of Dungeon Crawler Carl. But
what in the actual name?
I know.
The Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, Carl's Doomsday Scenario.
Yeah,
these are wild
7 books in this
series.
The
Gates of the Feral Gods.
7?
That's currently out. It's not even finished.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Anyways.
Sorry, real quick. One of the reviews. I'm so glad I found the series. I love Carl and Donut. More with each book.
Yes. Donut.
That's awesome.
Oh, my queen. Anyways.
Love it.
Anyways, the conditions of will.
Yes.
Do we want to start? We already kind of spoiled our ratings.
Yeah.
But I mean, hello, 555. Do we want to share? We'll go over our little 3 pages in predictions and see if we were.
Yeah,
on the money.
I can start. I didn't really predict stuff. More just like said what I thought was gonna happen. Or like said stuff that I was excited for. So one thing that I mentioned that I was excited for was the character descriptions, because she like reads people. And honestly, at times it was like a little not jarring, but like I feel like it would be like a couple sentences of just describing like this one little thing, and it'd be like, wow, she's like really going into detail about this. I'm like, oh wait, that's literally like what she does. I'm like, okay, wait, that's actually way cool. So sometimes it caught me off guard a little bit. But then oh yeah, because I mentioned because she's already been describing things in like really detailed just in the first 3 pages.
Yeah.
And then I said I think her family is going to be terrible, but I'm excited to see the dynamic. Yep,
correct.
Yes, they're absolutely terrible, but like also some of her family, like her brothers, I actually love them.
Yes.
Like both of them in like different ways. And then the one prediction I have was that I was going to have elements of mystery. Not really. I mean, like a little bit, but like not in what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
but there was some.
There was I don't know if I would say it was like mystery, more just like, oh, let's go see, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I kind of felt mystery.
There,
Yeah.
But not to label it as genre
yes,
mystery.
I think that's in my head. It was going to be like a mystery romance,
Right.
Like, and that is not the case at all.
No.
But
If you're
still
reading
really
for
enjoyed
mystery, you would be disappointed.
you'd be like, where's
sure.
the mystery?
yeah. But
yeah.
if you weren't reading for the mystery, it's a good plot.
Yeah.
it. So yeah, those are my predictions.
I love it. I just said I was excited for the audiobook. They
Did you listen?
Nope. I said they slayed. In my head, I was like, they did so good. No, it's just me reading.
Well, I know we talked about wanting to listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh wait, actually, let me check.
I don't even know if it's out, but my prediction or hope was like someone from Magnolia Parks to show up.
Spoiler warning now for the Conditions of Will.
Yep.
We should cut that in front of that. So that
No, it's okay because
It's okay. Yeah.
You're right.
spoiler warning. You've been warned.
The audiobook is not out yet. I
Okay.
think it comes out next week.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
May 20th. Ooh.
Okay. Couple weeks. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, so kind of showed up, not like in the present, but Henry and Daisy were both talked about, which was really freaking fun.
And I'm scared.
About Daisy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Was that not freaking crazy? Was the timeline like that's after?
So I've
I could not
seen
figure out when the timeline was.
the timeline hasn't happened. I saw Jessa
what?
talk about this.
Wait, okay, this whole time I thought it was
everything.
like after the first Daisy Hates.
No. This
No, I thought
what
it was
they're
after
talking
the
about
second.
is in Daisy Hates 4. Not even the next book.
Wait,
I saw Jessa talk about this at that timeline. This is the thing, because what they're talking about in Conditions of Will is still past tense when they talk about Julian's sister, that whole scene.
Right.
That could be Daisy Hates 3.
That's what I thought.
But the timeline for Conditions of Will and Daisy Hates 4, those line
When
up.
he leaves.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly.
this.
Wait.
Wait, no. Daisy Hates 4, not Magnolia Parks. Like, that's just the Daisy Hates books.
Yeah.
We don't have 3 or 4 yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 hasn't.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen in either of them. Yeah.
Dang, Jessa. Okay.
I know, because I follow her Instagram and people have been like, so what's the timeline for this? So
Every
we
time
can
I
know.
saw stuff, I like skipped past it because
Yeah.
I
Same.
wasn't done yet.
It actually ruined the Instagram
and she,
post.
well, and she was like, buckle up because it's not even anything that you're close to reading yet. And I was like, cool.
Oh, great.
she said that.
She's like, it's a Daisy Hates 4. And I was like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
Wait,
what?
it's probably ending with Daisy Hates 4, right?
Or yeah,
Probably
or
like
it's
the
not-
end of the
I bet
third.
whatever happens is probably gonna happen towards the end of
the
3.
third. Yeah.
And then we'll hopefully
And
get
the last
some.
book of the series is the 4th. she
Yes,
said?
Daisy Hates 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Magnolia
Go for
has
it.
3 books. Daisy will have 4. Anyways, shout out Julian's sister. When I was mentioned, I was like,
No,
literally. And then when she was talking about Henry later, I was like,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, that was
Anyways.
fun.
Loved it.
And I'd seen people on TikTok went back and found Storm. That's his name, right? He was mentioned distantly in a Magnolia Parks
I
book.
figured he had been.
People-
Yeah, I also didn't have too many like predictions. I mainly just shared that I was happy to be back with Jessa's writing, honestly, which
Such a relief.
so good.
So good.
Like, that's honestly some of my favorite parts about these books, just like the comparison she uses, like the flowery writing, just all of it. Like, I love reading. Like, it's so fun to read.
It's so good.
So
She's amazing.
yeah. Do you want to dive into our thoughts of the book?
Yes, please.
Mhm.
We have a couple different like categories. I don't know if that's the word.
Themes.
That-
Topics.
Yeah, themes.
Themes.
Topics that we want to talk about. Should we start with family relationships?
Oh gosh, that's
Oh my
a lot to
gosh.
unpack.
I know.
Like actually. Jessa just did such a good job at giving us like the correct amount the correct amount of information at that time. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is what happened with Georgia.
Yeah.
But she first like developed her character, and you got to like her, and then you find out what actually had happened in the past, and like after already like meeting everyone, she just did such a good job at developing the story with the characters, and like she did really good job at placing them in the light that she wanted us to see them in in the beginning, and then went through, and then like as a reader you go through the same emotions as Georgia, the main character, of how she views her siblings and how that changes throughout too, which
and
is
her
like
mom
crazy.
and her dad.
The whole family,
everyone.
Yeah, because their family's so messed up.
Oh my gosh.
So
I honestly,
crazy.
I feel like this is probably the biggest theme of the book.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, just the relationships with her different family members, and I feel like what you're saying, like Jessa just did such a good job of throwing us in, and it was like, oh, I like felt like I was like a part of the family in a way. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, she just did such a great job, and I really enjoyed the different dynamics between the siblings. Marianne can suck it. She's the worst.
Marianne can literally
like
never come
actually
back.
She
the worst
pissed me
human
off
being ever.
so bad.
She like made me like anxious because I was so infuriated with her when I was reading.
No, literally
I'm
terrible.
like, there's no way. Like, I was like, I could not get out of my head that she was a fake person. Like, I was so angry at this freaking character.
Absolutely terrible. But I enjoyed her brothers.
Both of them.
What's her
Tennyson?
Tennyson, yeah.
My
Also-
king. Also love that name.
I know. Also,
It's cute.
totally side note about their names, about like the poets or whatever.
Yeah.
I like caught on the second that I read like Tennyson. I was like, oh, like the poet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So the fact that she was like,
what?
I was like, okay.
I'm like, girl, you're so smart. You have a master's or whatever. Like, you've never heard of one of the most famous poets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also, anyways, just I really enjoyed her older brother and Oliver. They were great.
And I forget her name. Tennyson's girlfriend.
Savannah.
Oh, Savannah.
Yes.
Loved her too.
I loved her.
She was great.
Yeah. Holy cow.
And I also hated her mom. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So frustrating. Literally so frustrating. Okay. I want to know how Jessa did her research on the psychology behind all of the...
Yeah.
Okay, it looked familiar, like, from maybe, like, the one psychology class I've taken, but the AU 17 and, like, the...
Yeah.
Is that, like, a face...
I
Different
think...
facial expressions?
So,
I think so.
I recognize some of the muscles from my anatomy
Oh, yeah.
class.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure.
That's funny.
I'm like, you tell us. I'm looking at you.
I don't really know. All I know
be the
is
expert.
I would know sometimes the muscle she was talking about, but I think that's the same. But yeah, I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to picture, but I understood, like you were saying, that we were making a facial expression that she could read and understand.
Yes. If I wasn't so, like, engrossed with the story, I would have been, like, researching on the side, like, AU 17 or whatever it is, which I probably will do the second time I read it. But I thought she did such a good job at explaining the behaviors and the psychology around a lot of, like, for example, Marianne's narcissism.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that sounds familiar with people I know. Anyways.
And I also really enjoyed how she would explain, like, why those things meant what they did.
Yes.
And also take it one step further and explain then how their actions reflect that's how they're feeling.
Yes.
I don't know. It's very interesting how she would, like, read people and then be able to, like, infer that, like, they were going to react this way or think a certain way about something. And it was, like, it was so interesting.
Such a good job.
And I liked how she would do it for Sam.
Yes.
And, like, be like, I know that he's feeling this way or whatever.
So his eyes are dilated. He's attracted to me. I'm like, I'm gonna be staring at everyone's eyes now.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I would
I
use
can
that
read you,
all the time if I was her.
dude.
Oh my
Actually,
God. Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about Sam?
Loved him. Loved him so much. Like, I knew I was gonna love him from the beginning when he, like, forces her to go to the dad's grave and is like, talk to him. And I'm like, you don't know this person. I think at that point it'd been like, this is like day 2 or something.
Yeah.
But he's like, and like gave her a hug from behind, like the whole thing. I was like,
so
I loved him.
sweet.
I loved him so much.
Yeah.
He kept switching back and forth between Australian and American. I like remember. I'd be like Australian accent in my head, and then American, and then Australian.
I'm like, oh yeah, he's Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, he's like barefoot and like this.
I love their first meeting.
Yes,
I know.
What a freaking good meet
so
cute.
fun.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that was, yeah. Her thinking that he was her gay brother's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
and she's
he's
like
so
touching all of his tattoos, like all over. So funny.
So good.
And she's like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, I liked you touching me or whatever. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, why would he want that to stop? Like, that's funny.
That is so freaking funny. So good. He's such a sweet, like, she writes characters with so much depth. Like, they're such real people with so many layers, which is how people are in real life. Like, it's not just like, she just, when George is thinking about him, it's not just these general statements like, oh, he's so kind. Like, it's connected to everything that, how they've been interacting, or like the way she like sees that he has a behavior, or like like the self-hushing emblems or whatever those are called. Like it was so interesting hearing about everyone doing anyways.
What did you guys think about people have kind of labeled this as insta love? I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah,
people don't love the insta love trope.
I don't, but I loved this one.
I was gonna say, okay, when you step back and think about the timeline of the book, like all of this happened within like a week and a half or like 2 weeks or something, like 2 weeks. And like he just up and decided to move to London with her after that, which none of it rubbed me the wrong way necessarily, but I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a little taken back. It's like, oh, okay,
I was kind of like, yeah,
I know, but then after I thought about it, like he had a lifestyle where he could,
right,
where it's not like he's super tied down to like one like physical spot, and I was like, okay, that makes more sense to me. And also they have a lot of money. That was my main thing. I'm just like, how?
And because it reminded me of another book that we read that they also ended up moving. Remember, I don't want to, well, a book club book that we did in December.
Yeah, Holiday Romance.
Yes. Holiday Romance.
That's,
where he ends up not moving home like he was going to because of the thing. And I'm like, I don't know. It felt different than that. I enjoyed it. I didn't find a problem with it.
I honestly reminded me of me and my husband, because we literally met on a trip for a week and started dating the next week.
Yeah.
And
it's funny,
we're immediately like
together all the time.
Yeah, like this is like endgame.
Yeah.
Wait.
So I'm like, I don't know.
Not gonna lie, that totally like helped change my perspective, because that is totally how you guys met.
Like it genuinely, I was like, I'm gonna marry this dude. Like,
wow,
when we first started dating, and it felt like we had known each other for so long.
Is love real?
No,
That's
I'm
crazy.
not kidding. Nick and I were talking about this yesterday. We both were like, literally the first week we met, like, or that we started dating, which was our second week, we knew each other. We were like, we knew we were gonna marry each other.
Yeah.
Like, there was no other like. We didn't talk about it, but we're like, oh yeah, this is like my person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, it honestly resonated with me.
Yeah.
Because it genuinely was like that.
It felt, I've read some insta love where it feels more maybe insta lust.
Yeah.
And I don't like, but this did not feel to me like obviously they met and they were kind of obsessed with each other, but it didn't feel like too much. I don't know.
And
I
even though we like moved there, it's not like it was like to marriage, you know,
right.
or like anything, which that would have been like terrible, or not even to marriage, but like engagement. Like, yeah, they're living together, but like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it. I loved their relationship.
I can see though how it insta love would be. Kind of like.
Also, back to, I liked how protective it was, like a slippery slope. I didn't really know what he should be choosing at any given point.
Holy crap!
But
so hard.
But I do love though, like he set those boundaries and he was like, "Hey, I'm here for both of you. But if you start attacking her, like, I'm sorry, like I have to protect her that way." And I was like, Sam,
literally. And then when he finally was like, "I can't be your sponsor anymore," I was like,
should we dive into the love triangle?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought it was going to be more of a love triangle. I feel like it wasn't.
It wasn't super, but it made me anxious. Like, I would read it and I'm like, oh my gosh, your brother's right there. Like, to just tell him.
If you're Georgia, like genuinely, are you feeling the same way where she's like, I can't like him? Or are you like, no, he's gay.
Part of me
never have him.
I don't know.
It's so hard because like, obviously she knows that like they're not gonna end up together, like her brother and Sam, but like it's like she knows that he likes him, you know.
Doesn't want to hurt his feelings.
Kind of like, I don't think we've ever had this situation like as friends, but like I feel like I hear about situations where it's like, you knew I liked this guy, why did you go for him even though you knew he didn't like me? Like you just, out of like friend code, you don't go for them. So I'm like, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, honestly, kind of valid.
I do not know
Oliver's point, you know?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
I felt bad for him a little bit.
I think both sides are valid, because obviously, like, if it was just some random dude, you know, that would, you know, I feel like he'd have to, he'd totally have a right to be more upset, but it ended up being endgame, so like
yes, but also not even the point, like he knows like Sam wouldn't end up with him, but it's like, oh, you are taking time away from him, like he was like my best friend, like now that you're dating, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna see him as much. So that's sad. But freaking Marianne being like, oh, well, if Georgia hadn't gotten the way, maybe he would have turned. Do you remember when she said that?
Yes. Well, and the second that like Oliver is hurt, Marianne seizes the opportunity to like turn him like and like to what do whatever she wants to do, and like whatever, and be all buddy with him. That also was so annoying.
Trying to be so empathetic, but I was like, Oliver, you're really pissing me off right now. You're being so rude.
One thing I love about Jessa's characters is that all of these people feel real. Like, people behave like this all the time, and that's truly how people act when they're hurt. That's truly like that. Really, people do these things. Yes. And so it's just like, I don't know, I really enjoy like being in that world that feels so real. So yeah, all of her characters are written so well.
So well.
It made me want to go to the South. Did any of like the Southern things resonate with you, Eden?
Oh yeah,
since you've lived in the South.
All the church stuff.
Yeah, totally. And everyone talking about everything.
Yep.
It's like the nosy gossipy,
and you can't step out of line at all, or it's like everyone's gonna have an opinion.
Yeah. Just so hard.
Which kind of brings us to one thing we want to talk about: the dad and his like history and his storyline, where the story went with him. I really enjoyed the will readings. And that aspect. I'm like, the tea was crazy.
Insane.
Dude, Knives Out vibes, like okay,
so crazy.
What's about to freaking drop?
For a second, I didn't realize, because they like read the will and hear about what was his name? Alexis
Bouchain.
Alexis. They hear about Alexis and then stop. For some reason, I thought that was the whole will.
Oh,
like I didn't realize that there was more.
Yeah, because some like Marianne hadn't gotten her stuff yet.
Yeah, and I just like I didn't process that for a while. Anyways, but then I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. With the will reading, when they read the full will, sobbing.
Oh yes,
I was sobbing. I read it on a plane, and I was by strangers, and I was like, oh my gosh, like wiping my tears. I was like, this is like. I just felt like I felt for Oliver. Yes. I'm like, how is he not real? I was like, oh my gosh, like, yes.
Yeah, I was so happy for him. Yeah. And like, I don't want to say I loved that he couldn't have it until he was sober, but like that his dad thought about that. I don't know. I just, everything felt very realistic and very, not everything ended like perfectly happy, like fairy tale, but it was realistic, and I loved that. And I loved also what Georgia got in the will, just getting like the plot of land or whatever, and her being like, what the heck do I do with this? And Sam is like, well, you don't like your
Sam
dad
figuring it out.
Your dad is not giving you land, he's giving you Alexis or whatever, and like a relationship with him, like a father figure that I didn't give you or whatever. And I was like, Sam,
I have two questions for you guys.
Okay.
First one, when did you first think, oh, it could be a relationship with this guy?
When they first,
or did you think Alexis could be a guy before meeting him?
I don't know if before meeting him I did, but the second she talked to him,
I realized, like, he opened the door and I was like, a guy. And was being a little shady or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't.
Well, and he was like, he was like, who is Sam?
Yeah,
like when he knew everyone, but that's when I knew. Yeah, but I didn't really think about it before then.
I didn't either.
I kind of thought it with Maya when they met the daughter. But I thought Alexis was the guy's wife. I thought maybe he's having an affair with the husband of Alexis or something.
Like that.
Like that. I was like, dude, that could be wild, and I was like, no.
Well, and then I realized when it was Alexis and that he was a poet or whatever, I was like, oh, well, Maya is obviously like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I was like, it's Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Like whatever, which was also fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fun theme. My second question, okay, sorry, I have 3 questions. My second question is, what do you think their dad's character actually is? Is he, because like, yes, he ended up doing these things in the will, but he still was such a crappy dad. Like, do you really think he was a pretty cruel guy?
I don't think he was cruel, but I think he had to kind of become this other person.
Yeah.
Like around his family. Like, I feel like they obviously are 2 very different people. Like who his true self is and then who he was as like a dad.
Yeah.
Just really sad.
I don't think he was necessarily cruel, but based off of the environments that he lived in, like he couldn't be who he was there, so he had to be this like
persona.
But he didn't have to be.
But I was gonna say, but I still
he treated them so bad.
Everything with the will and all of that and his other life that he had does not make up for how he treated them and how he raised his kids at all. But I think like, I mean, he felt like he had to be some way, so he did it. And that's not justification for why he behaved the way he is, but you can see
understanding.
Yeah, you can see what his motivations were.
Yeah.
It also makes me sad like that they didn't know his like their true father. It honestly it makes me saddest for Oliver. Like
totally
for sure.
Like, yes, Tennyson, it sucked for him because it's like I put my dad on a pedestal and he was living this like fake life, whatever.
Your dad was still nice
Oliver,
to you.
Oliver's like entire like identity. Oh, he could, so many things could have been prevented if he had.
Well, and he was shamed for the same thing that his dad is.
Yeah.
Like so hypocritical.
And like had terrible relationships with his family.
The church going, like,
right.
It's because you're like, you can't, that's a sin. And all of the like their mom's friends being over, that's a sin. Like, don't you know?
Yeah. And then is it Georgia or is it Savannah that's like, so is gossiping? Like someone said
it was
that.
Georgia or Savannah.
I think it was Savannah. And Georgia was like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I think I like this girl.
Yeah.
And my third question is, there was a line at the very end. Do you think her mom knew?
I was gonna ask you 100%.
I think she might have
100%.
Like, when she hugged her and asked,
when she hugs her at the end and asks,
what was he like?
Yeah, what was he like?
Yeah,
I think she knew.
And obviously, like in that culture, we kind of talked about like you don't do anything wrong because you care more about what other people will think about you and perceive you than wanting to live your life the way you want to live it or like whatever. So
sad.
But Marianne and their mom can go and do that. I loved the end. I'm like, it wasn't necessarily like the happiest, like, oh, everything's perfect, but that they were all able to come together again and like have an experience together and kind of like start their own journey of like growing closer when they all visit her for her birthday. It was so cute. Yeah. And Alexis being there.
I liked him.
Oh, Sam, thank you for putting that together.
Shout out to Sam.
He's like, how did I do for my first birthday?
Oh.
As a couple, I'm like, that was so cute.
Yeah. Oh, I love this book.
I know, same. I like honestly want to reread it.
Same.
Literally same. Are they gonna make like a movie? Do you think eventually?
They should.
It'd be
such a fun movie.
A really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the southern vibe. I really like. I was just imagining like very summery. I know it was like coming together for a funeral, but I still just like thinking of like a big house and just like
the
drama. Oh,
crazy.
Very, very good.
Yeah. We kind of talked about this earlier before we started recording, but Jessa Hastings is Australian, but she has lived in London and she now lives in the South. And I feel like she has captured, I'm assuming, London society very well. I don't know if that's how it's actually like, whatever. But she captured the culture of the South so freaking well.
Yeah.
I'm like, how was she not actually raised there? Like, she just killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
We love you, Jessa.
Agreed. I really liked how Georgia would describe like God and be like, hey, like people here are crazy and like the church is insane, but like I don't know, I just like how she explained it to Sam, like, hey, like it does not have to be like completely like black and white,
right? Like I did too. I know there were some people complained about the cover a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw any of that
because of like the
Yes.
Everything?
Like the religious whatever, and they saw it as like making fun of
Sacrilegious?
whatever. But but I'm like, no. Read
I
the
did not
book
think that at all.
and listen to her description of God. Like, I loved it. And
I know.
I love that it wasn't like, I don't know. It felt very welcoming to any religion or any belief that you have. That's kind of just like, everyone can have their own opinion, but like, a God is a loving God. I don't know. I just liked it.
I agree. I like the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah.
Her friend Emmy just does a good job on
so good.
all
So
the
good.
covers. It's so pretty. I'm like, wow. Anyways, there were like, we could literally sit here and pick apart so many, like literally every moment in the book. There were so many like funny.
Yeah,
like,
it was funny too.
Yeah,
It was.
really freaking funny.
I love Georgia.
Same. She's so
amazing.
cool. She's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does anybody else have any other thoughts?
No, I was just really stressed out when they were traveling to Louisiana and like staying in hotels and like them sneaking around.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know. In
so
the car.
freaking stressed.
And when
Oh my gosh,
Tennyson
Tennyson,
lied,
yeah.
I literally was like, this is gonna bite him in the butt.
Yeah, I was like, that's a crazy cover up story.
Oh, there was so much like that where I was just like, I do not know what's gonna happen, but I was like, this is so entertaining.
I know, it was so entertaining.
I also loved when they would like bicker with each other.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
freaking so accurate. I literally was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is Jessa, you captured the sibling dynamic so freaking
Very well.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is The Conditions of Will.
Yay.
That's our April book club book. And I guess we were recently talking about the Southern Vibe, which I feel like is a good segue into our May book club book.
Yeah. The May book is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix.
Yay.
This
I'm so excited.
I am too. This book, what genre is this? It's like
I probably thriller mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Romance? Question mark?
Yeah, it follows kind of this girl who is kind of bored with her life type thing. She just pretty much takes care of her family, but she looks forward to her book club. And at her book club, she loves those people, whatever. And there's a new person that comes to town. They're kind of sus of him. And then there's like kind of some murders that happen, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And
or no, people go missing.
Yeah, one of the two. I can't remember exactly. And the book club is kind of looking towards this new person in town. And they basically take it on as a book club to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds like they're the only people that are like really investigating. Yeah. Not super sure, but it's giving summer vibes, even though there's like vampires in the name of the book title. So it's gonna be summery. Don't worry.
The first line is fried green tomatoes and steel magnolias meets Dracula in this southern flavored supernatural thriller set in the 90s.
Supernatural thriller.
90s, that's fun too. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
90s is fun.
Yep.
Ooh, and book club. That's a fun little topic theme.
Oh, I love reading book clubs and books.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm very excited. So yeah, make sure you read that for this month's book club.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Yep. Make sure you follow us on social media, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this.
Watch us on YouTube. Watch
Yes.
to see Eden actually bedridden.
Oh.
JK. Well,
Yep.
not just kidding. She really is. But in case you thought we were lying and we're just lazy and skipped a week for nothing. Anyways, and with that,
See you next episode. Bye.